What up, Pink ladies, T-birds, just happen to be watchers of my shit. My name is Jimmi Pynk, and I'm confused. If you and your two best friends got knocked up by the same dude, would y'all still be friends? And if that dude just happened to be Satan, would you keep the babies?
Releasing tension, don't even mention, don't know the definition, always right and always.
Alright, so today is I don't remember what day it is, of the Pink Ribbon Project, and because not only is October Breast Cancer Awareness Month, it is also the month of my favorite holiday, Halloween. So we are doing another episode of Yaass, and today's topic is The Witches of Eastwick. So this is the first movie that made me love witches. Like, I love shit with witches in it. Obviously, I've fucking got a lot of... Obviously, you watching this shit, right? But The Witches of Eastwick is probably my first movie that I was like, yes, this is the shit. First of all, the movie is old. It's from 1987. And before we get any further, because I know y'all watched Sabrina, the Sabrina Yes Witch, and I said that didn't hold up. This shit still holds up. This shit is still good. It's still interesting. It still holds up. First of all, how could it not? You have some of the greatest actors and actresses in this movie. So you have Jack Nicholson, who plays Daryl Van Horn, a.k.a. The Beast, obviously. And then you have the three witches. So you have Susan Sarandon, you have Michelle Pfeiffer, and you have Cher. Y'all motherfuckers gonna stop sleeping on Cher. Cher ass can act. Okay? Cher got an Oscar, damn it. Cher got an Oscar. She can act. But with this cast of her holding her own, it's amazing. Of course, it does use some very familiar tropes. One's blonde, one's redhead, one's brunette. But also some things that I found interesting, like all three of them are artists. Michelle Pfeiffer's character, Suki, is a writer. Cher's character, Alex, is a sculptor. And Susan Sarandon, why the fuck did I just blank on her name? Jane is a musician. So they're all artists. Now in the book, in the original book, I have not read the book, but it's based on a book by John Updike. When I went to Wikipedia to do a little research and read about the book, they were already witches in the book. In the movie, it's hard to say. It starts off with, Eastwick is a very small community. Of course, it's in Massachusetts because, wink, wink, witches. And, they all live in these small lives, and all of their men are out of their life. As, to put it so eloquently as Daryl Van Horn did in the movie. Damn, I just tripped over my words. The 3 Ds. Death, desertion, divorce. And they all got one of each. But the thing is where I'm saying it's not clear that there were actually witches or not, is because it all starts off with they're at this school function. Well, Jane is a teacher, and Alex and Suki have kids. So it's like a big, when you have them small communities, it's like a community event, even though it is at the school, it's a community event, so like everybody is there. And they show all these shots of them looking at this weather vane at the top of the school. All bored and shit, like, I wish this shit was over with, let's get this over with. And all of a sudden the weather vane starts spinning and it rains. And then they allude to it because they get together for their Thursday night thing, which is usually them making cocktails. And this is where I said it gets confusing. Because the shit that they get together and do when they get together is kind of witch-like. Like they got drunk and started playing with tarot cards. they made a mention of like, well, what did we do last week? Chinese aphrodisiac cooking. That sounds like a love spell. You know what I mean? So it kind of alludes to it. Sookie says, oh, well, don't y'all think it was weird? We were thinking about something at the same time and we all, thought it, and then it started raining. The rest of them are dismissive. So then they sitting around, they drinking their martinis, they getting it in. Well, I want a man under a dark curse, somebody easy to talk to. They talk about dick size. They didn't wished for the perfect man, but they all like, whatever, it's just a wish. Well, lo and behold, they're dormant witches. So, again, there are some things about the movie that are unclear. It's still a good movie, but thematically it is kind of all over the place. Because then it's like, well, if you guys are witches and this man just came, I get it. But the man that ends up coming is the devil. So did y'all cast a spell or did y'all just summon the devil? Or the devil is a lie. Did he just say, oop, whoop, there it is. Them bitches, let's go. So that's very unclear. But anyway, long story short, Daryl Van Horn moves into town. He buys this big abandoned mansion. And all of a sudden, there's where Sookie works at, where she's a columnist on the paper, her husband and the snooty, sedity wife, who is supposed to get on our nerves, but really, she never did anything crazy until this man came into town and started fucking with her. But I guess she's supposed to be like the righteous Christian. But she never did anything wrong. She was never dirty. She was never snooty. Until then. So, like, again, thematically, kind of crazy. In the book, she had reason to be at these girls because they was all friends and Sookie was sleeping with the husband in the book. But in the movie, not at all. Nothing like that. Just her boss. But they go. And each of them end up meeting him. First, Alex meets him. He get in Alex's head. He get them draws. He literally said, I just like a little pussy after lunch. And I just was like, I didn't remember that as a kid. Like, I'm just like, oh. Well, I like a little dick after dinner, but I ain't advertising it. Goddamn. Then Jane, that's Susan Sarandon, is very uptight. Like, she's a concert cellist and like she teaches school. She's very, very, very uptight. She's also barren. That's very important. She's very uptight when he comes and has her play music. And while she playing her violin, he spread her legs, put the cello up in there. She start playing. She basically playing so well that it's orgasmic to her. So she jump on that dick. And she completely flips 180. She went from housewife to hoe. 0 to 100. Real quick. And again, like I said, there are some thematic things because I'm like, new dick make you act brand new, but new dick don't make you act brand new like that. Like all of a sudden, like she ain't wearing bras, her whole wardrobe switched up. Like she was like, school marm, and then all of a sudden she is just halter topped out. Like I'm just like, well, wait, okay, but anyway, moving past that. Then they have Sookie come over. So they already there. Now Jane and Alex is like, we didn't know we both smashed. So they kind of like looking at him, and he go beeline to Sookie because he trying to hit them all. Okay, he trying to hit the trifecta, and he does it because he seduces them after he's already slept with Alex and already slept with Jane. He seduces them by now showing that they are witches. Like, oh, y'all got power. He got them playing this crazy ass game of tennis. They floating in the air, and they loving it. Here's my problem with that. To me, I already feel like something is wrong. Like, wait, all of a sudden now we got powers and shit? Like, wait a minute. Hold on. Who is this dude? And then his name is Daryl Van Horn. Can you be a little bit more on the nose? Could you? Because, devil. Van Horn. Name has to start with a D. Of course, I'm surprised his name wasn't like Damien. But it's still a little on the nose. long story short, and it does say that they do this in the book as well. Like, all three of them is fucking him. Like, they just got a relationship. They just hoes in his harem. Only, the crazy thing about this movie is there's like this super strong feminist undercurrent. And it's weird to me because I didn't realize it as a kid. But like how he seduces each one of them is he talks about like how great women are. And women can do all these wonderful things with their body. He mentions giving birth a lot. Obviously not to the barren one. But, you know, he says all of this. And Sookie, who has 6 kids, lets him know off rip, when you seduce me, I'm fertile, nigga. Like, you pop this pussy, I'm popping out a baby. That's just what it is. And that lights him up because that's his plan all along, is to spread his little demon seed. Now, here's where shit gets crazy thematically. So, all three of them is like fucking with him. The lady who he's also fucking with, the one that's like, basically she's saying something is inside of me, but she not possessed. She telling the truth, so I don't know if like she was possessed, but her own spirit, like the Holy Spirit, was fighting for her, because she would be just coming out her mouth with crazy shit. But you know, she wanted an prim proper woman, and she would never do like outbursts, but the shit is coming out. But the way she's saying it is so crazy because she mixing in scripture, but also like saying like some foul shit. Like she doing some crazy shit. Like it's this one scene, she was like, he's trying to get in me. But she like all crouching down and lifting her skirt up and feeling on her pussy. And I'm just like, I'm just confused. I'm like, so that's what I mean about thematic confusion. I'm like, is she possessed by the devil? Or is she trying to preach the gospel? Like, it's confusing. But he got them doing spells and shit. Like, but they don't know they really doing spells until the lady ends up throwing up after they eat some cherries. And she falls down the steps. She's dead. Now, they got a problem with all fucking the same nigga. Oh, wait a minute. Now it's a problem. We killing people, B. We ain't here for this. We ain't here for killing people. So they start ignoring his ass. Now, at what point did y'all not figure out this man was the devil? This is what I'm trying to figure out. At the very most, a demon. At the very least, a warlock himself. Something ain't fucking right with the nigga. So now y'all kill somebody. Now it's a problem. Well, of course, the nigga is the devil. So, and I know a lot of us say that. I say that about my own nigga. I say my nigga is the devil a lot. But no, this nigga is really the devil. So when they get mad and they're like, no, we killing people, this is wrong, we can't do that. Oh, by the way, the lady owned the newspaper, so you know it's already like front page news. It's some whores in this house. If you see them, point them out, and point 3 fingers right at them bitches. But well, of course, he then decides to retaliate. See, earlier when they all first had like their little, I don't know if they was all partying or if they was having an orgy. Orgy was not explicitly ever said. Towards the end of the movie, it is inferred. I'm getting to that though. But, you know, they running their little shenanigans and their little games. And he videotaping them talking. And why you would do this with somebody you just met. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, they talking about like they fears dying and all kind of shit. And I'm like, really? That's how we gonna get down? That's how we gonna get down for real? Okay. Well, he uses that against them. Well, first of all, the barren one finds out that she's pregnant. They didn't already tell her she can't have kids. That's part of the reason why her and her husband ain't together no more. So she bolts to his house, even though they hadn't been speaking to him. Because she's elated. She always wanted kids. She was married. She can't have them. And she like, oh my God, I'm pregnant. I got to go tell this man. Like, I'm excited. I'm happy. And at this point in time, they think they all in love with him. So she goes. In the meantime, that's when he's sitting there watching the videotape. And she says she's just scared everything is just going to start disintegrating in front of her. And she look at everything and the shit is disintegrating like she getting old. So she run. She's sitting in there. She listening. Alex is like, I just feel like I'm just going to be devoured by snakes. There's going to be snakes everywhere. So she immediately like, I gotta go get Alex. When she go get Alex, Alex wake up the bed, there's snakes everywhere. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Like I said, I think this movie kind of started it all. I don't think the Craft did that shit on accident, because that shit came directly from this movie. I've always known that, but I know a lot of y'all are probably a lot more familiar with the Craft than this movie, because this is older, and it's not one of those movies that's like spoke about as a classic a lot, but like I just love it and it holds up extremely well. But Jane is right there. She like, snap out of it. The shit ain't real. Come on, come on, come on. Then they're like, oh shit, we gotta get Sookie. Well, here's where Sookie fucked up. Sookie said she ain't afraid of dying. She's scared of being in pain. Oh shit. So he then puts her in pain. Now mind you, we don't know this yet, but she started like hemorrhaging and bleeding and all this shit. And they send her to the hospital and they like, we don't know what's wrong with her. We don't want to give her nothing too strong. And then when they come in there, she like, I'm pregnant. We already knew the redhead Jane, look at Cher, Alex, and is like, you too, bitch? You too. We all knocked up. All by the same dude. So Sookie is in so much pain, and like they like, she in so much pain she gonna die. So they run. Well, now Alex runs and like, what the fuck is going on, Daryl? What the fuck is up? How you gonna do this to my girl? Handle this shit. And he goes into this big hizzy fit. He just want to be loved and cared for. He loved them and they abandoned him, this and this and this. This is the Dark Lord. This is Satan. And you mad because your bitches ain't cooperating? You're fucking Satan. Okay? Get some new bitches. Thematically, there's some problems. Because I'm talking about some he goes in. But anyway, she figures it out and she was like, okay, well, what we gonna do with you? We ain't mad at you. So, in the meantime, Jane and Sookie is in the hospital. Sookie's pain stops instantly. So, apparently they like, we know what we got to do. Well, in the movie, we don't know that. I've seen it a bunch of times. In the movie, it just looked like they like, because he telling them, you can't win. So you might as well just give into it. We gonna be a happy family. We gonna have these babies. We gonna keep fucking, and you will still have your powers, and we gonna have a lovely life, because you can't win, bitch. I'm Satan. So, in the meantime, thematic problems. So, they all come over, they all dressed up. Sideline for a minute, because I want to talk about this. Because this is some of the best. Listen, let me see. If I can find a picture, y'all will see that shit right next to me. Bitch, when I tell you, when they went to that thing, and that outfit Cher had on was bad as hell. Wish I had the body for it, but it's Cher. It looked like something Cher would wear. It's kind of a problem that I did have, because you playing a character, and I felt like that outfit was Cher. It wasn't Alex. But I digress, because it was a bad motherfucker. They still make shit like that to this day. I'm telling you, this movie is more iconic than what y'all think this is. This motherfucker outfit looked like somebody could have it on right now, and it's dope. But anyway, they all come in. The point that I was making is Michelle Pfeiffer don't never look fly. That's because Michelle Pfeiffer was pregnant in real life. So she couldn't wear like the slinky dresses and the half shirts and shit. She's supposed to be like frumpy, 6 kids. She don't really got the time for that. Is what it is really supposed to be. But anywho, so now we have them all laid up in the bed with their lingerie on. Like, yeah, come get it, nigga. We about to fuck the shit out of you. And then he leaves in the morning because they're all pregnant. So we got cravings for bagels and ice cream. And the devil, Satan, falls for this shit. And him and his chauffeur go off to town to go get them bagels and lox and ice cream. Something I thought was real cute. We don't have no ice cream. The freezer is broke. Well, I'll just take the bread and the fish then. That was like a little nod. Because, you know, like the devil, Jesus fed everybody with the fish and the bread. That was cute. But, so he goes to the ice cream shop. These bitches go get the big spell book. Again, Satan has a spell book just chilling in the house. And they go get it. They go to make a voodoo doll. They start doing all this shit to him, stabbing him with the voodoo doll, making him throw up the cherries like they did to the other person, blew him into a church. And he makes this speech about women again. But now it's a negative speech about women. Like, are women a mistake? Did God do this to us on purpose? Is this something we can build our resistance up to? Satan! You're Satan! Why is you tripping over these bitches? But I digress. And I understand because you need a woman to have kids. But you're Satan. Anyway, he ends up coming back because, you know, he's Satan. The voodoo doll's not going to work. I never understood how any of this shit, all the spells actually worked on him if he's Satan. Or demon at the very least, but pretty sure he's Satan. And he comes back. Well, now he basically turned it into the beast. He growling, the way he running is fucked up. They showing like shots of him like trying to brush like his hair back and it's like claws and shit now. Like he turning into the beast. So they go get the voodoo doll again. And they're doing some shit and it's working, but really it ain't working because now he's a full-fledged beast. Well, the voodoo doll breaks because it was made out of candle wax. They drop it, it breaks in 3 pieces. How convenient. Some shit catches on fire. They throw the voodoo doll in the fire and back to hell from which he came. There's some problems thematically. Now, this ain't Charmed, mind you, even though I'm pretty sure they borrowed from this too, with the 3 witches being oh so powerful, even though they never said these was the most powerful witches in the world. But for real, you sent Satan back to hell. So it must be something special about you 3 bitches that he picked y'all to have the babies. So, but they never say it. I'm pretty sure Charmed borrowed from that. A lot of the media and witches borrowed some shit from the witches of Eastwick, for real. But then 18 months later, because you know, it's 80s, so time lapse. Some kind of way they all still live in the mansion. His servant is still there with them. So they all live in this mansion with their 3 new babies. Alex and her daughter, Sookie and her other 6 kids, so this bitch got 7. Listen, honey, I don't care how big the mansion is. I'm not moving in with you and your 7 kids, boo. Not gonna happen. But in the end, it just shows this room with all the TVs, which we've seen this room before because that's where he was watching the video on how to know what to do to them. And lo and behold, the babies is walking up to the thing. Of course, one baby is brunette, one is blonde, one is redhead, so that we know it's those 3 ladies' babies. Oh, come to daddy, baby. And then they come in and turn the TV off and show's over. Again, the movie holds up extremely well. It is a good watch. It's a good sit. It's not a scary movie. It's not. It's an adult fractured fairy tale, basically. But there are some thematic problems with it, for sure. But it's still really good. The performances are excellent. I got to give a shout out to the lady. I cannot think what her name was in the film or the character actress, but the lady that was like possessed, that was like snapping and spazzing. Bitch, she did that. She might have did the best in the whole movie. Like for real, because she had to play dog shit crazy, and she did that, honey. But like I said, a lot of movies borrow from, like I said, like the thing with the snakes and turning somebody's fears on them, like certain they worst fears on them, is very much The Craft. 3 witches being a covering and powerful, like that's Charmed. Even down to what I said about Sabrina the Teenage Witch, when she went to the WB all of a sudden, even though they weren't all witches, but it was a redhead, a blonde, and a brunette. Like, a lot of stuff borrowed from this. But it's excellent. I highly recommend it. I've given you some synopsis. I didn't tell you guys anything. I do highly recommend and suggest you watch it. It's a great Halloween watch. Or if you just want to watch something old school. it's just fucking good, man. I just absolutely love it. I couldn't wait to review it. So I want to thank y'all for that. Now for the usual shit. As you can see, still dressed in pink. We're still taking donations. All patrons who subscribed this month or have already previously been subscribed, all October's, which will be November payment, will be going to Susan G. Komen for the Cure of Northeast Ohio. I want to thank all of you. But if you are not a Pink Lady or a T-Bird, feel free to subscribe by clicking Sailor Jimmi. That's the pink circle for those of y'all who don't know anime. Yeah, do that. Make sure you hit that dumbass notification bell so that you know when all the rest of the videos this month and on going forward come out. Also, thank you once again to my patrons. I could not do this without y'all. I cannot say that enough. I appreciate y'all more than I can ever fucking say on this video. But if you want to become one of my patrons, and it starts at $1, go ahead and click the P. And then, of course, watch another video, darling. Why stop now? You watching YouTube. Who the fuck comes on YouTube and watches one video? Really. Check my catalog. Peep my credentials. So thank you so much for watching. And as always, deuces.
Kamehameha attack is blazing, I'm so amazing. Japanimation, the anime on your cartoon station. So fulfilling, no adults swimming for about an hour. Revealing power, unorthodox amongst these cowards. Full transformation for Optimus Prime transformation. A good vibration from Rumble packed in with inspiration. In my beginning, God created a lyricist. Saga continues.